there. Welcome back to Actually Aubrey. He says, she says. And tonight we're talking about Put a Ring on It, Season 3, The Reunion. How's everybody?
I'm
Hey,
well.
hey, I'm good, Aubrey. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Can't complain.
Okay.
You
All
you you can
right.
complain, but nobody cares. You know what I mean?
Oh, stop it. You are so wrong. Ooh,
Oh,
wee.
he feeling real sassy today.
Ooh, sassy boy.
Oh boy.
Oh my lord, guys, what did you think? That reunion was something. Well, let me get my little cue cards up here. Okay, let me go back and get my cue cards because I made up some. That's what was taking me so long. I was making up some cue cards to kind of help out everybody to know where we were in this situation. Oh gosh,
Yeah,
where did they
yeah. Make sure we stay on point.
where did they go? Like what? Like what? Oh, okay, I'm in the wrong. Okay, I'm in the wrong thing. Okay. All right, guys.
Yeah,
How are you? How's the viewers? How are you guys out there? Did you guys see that reunion? Oh, Lord have mercy.
yeah. They
All
starting
right.
they starting to come in. We got Jay Watley, Edward Smart, Ellen V. They starting to
Oh,
come in.
all right. Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. I got my little ticker. Let me see. This actually should have been saved as something else, but I'm gonna run this. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about before we even really get into the actual, the components of what was going on, the pretty petty lies. What should have been said was it should have been a little scribble in there in between pretty and petty that should have said not so petty because there's some huge lies going on and they're going to have some it looks like they're going to have some serious ramifications for some of these participants on Ready to Love.
Oh yeah, somebody gonna have a serious one in another 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah. So her baby is due. You talking about Charlana? Is that what
Oh
you're trying
yeah.
to intimate? Charlana's baby, Charlana and Otis's baby is due apparently next month in July.
Wow.
So yeah, so that baby is coming. The baby is gonna be here, and poor Charlana and the baby, no marriage. Mm-mm-mm.
That's not nice, Aubrey.
I, what is it? Is it factual? Did they not say that they're focused on the baby? Did they not say that? But you don't realize that the focus on the baby, including everything, including insurance, would be that you would be actually married to the dad. You
Right.
don't realize that. Okay, okay. So
Mm,
I'm not being nice, but I'm just speaking the truth, right?
right.
Now you starting to remind me of Egypt. You starting to remind me of Egypt and all her dancing around all the real issues. That's what you're starting to remind me of. That wasn't
Yeah.
very nice, huh?
No,
Mm,
I did
What?
not like the way she moderated. She let Kenny off the hook a lot. She let Otis off the hook with Milan. She danced around a lot of stuff, and I'm not sure she did it outside of maybe corporate interests of whatever. But she should have let them go ahead and get all these truths out.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's a whole entire reunion, and if we don't do it anyplace else, the reunion is where we get all the dirt and all the tea. What about
Yeah.
you, Jeremy? Isn't the reunion where it all goes down?
yeah, it's supposed to be, but apparently not. No, not for this reunion. I despise Dr. Nicole to the pits of my being. I despise
Oh
her,
Lord.
and I despise Egypt. Egypt is a middle aged chicken head. Like I hate seeing her host anything. I don't know why we keep on hiring Egypt. I don't even know why her name is Egypt. Her name should have been, Bethesda or something like that, or maybe Methuselah.
Well, I don't know about all that, Jeremy. Okay, well, listen, I want you to get into because I think you're just the right person for this. So let me task you with this. What is it about Egypt's delivery and her hosting that you find that you did not like? And what could she have done differently? Please
Well,
tell our
well, I felt
viewers.
like she didn't know much, and I felt that she was biased, and I felt that she wasn't trying
Yes.
to get deep into the issues, and I felt like her and Dr. Nicole had basically planned on how they were going to like address this together. Like I never think that she's prepared. I never think that she's a good host. I never think that she has anything interesting to say. She always tries to like laugh and like make it seem like everything's a joke when the only joke in the room is her. I don't like anything about Egypt. And like I was really happy when she was no longer hosting Love and Marriage Huntsville reunions. When we got Carlos, I was like, finally. Hopefully,
Oh,
love
that's
put
where
it.
I know her from. Okay, go ahead.
And wasn't she the same one who hosted the Ready to Love one too? The season before last.
Uh,
I don't know about that, but I know
I
Egypt
don't know about
Sherrod.
that either.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Egypt had a show on HGTV. She's been around a little while. She's been making the rounds, but as a moderator for this reunion, I think she failed on this one big time.
I'm just gonna let you guys know right ahead of time. I'm going to drag Egypt. I'm going to drag Shalana, and I'm going to drag. It's like I'm so sick and tired of all the people always talking about. Oh, they edited out. Oh, the show edited. Like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Oh, okay, guys. I know it's on the ticker. We've kind of jumped ahead, and that's okay. But can we come back to gentlemen, what we think or what your thoughts are, and then I'll give my thoughts on who was the best dressed female or females plural, if you will, and the best dressed males at the reunion. Any thoughts about that, Jeremy?
I thought the best was Shorty, and I thought the best dress as far as men was Hollywood.
He was sharp. Hollywood
Wow.
was sharp. I had to give it to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But you know
Alex,
what?
your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Shay, as far as the women, was the best dressed, and I think
Mm-hmm.
as far as the men, even though I may not, particularly care for him all that much, I think Otis was very nicely dressed. I didn't like the color too much, but it looked good on him. He looked good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people were saying, and as I was about the YouTube streets, a lot of people were saying that Lilac, that was he looked like a little boy going to Easter Sunday, and I tend to agree. Even though I agree with you too, Alex, that he looked nice in it. That color flattered his complexion. But I wouldn't have done it. I mean, I would have picked another color out of her dress, and I know it. I know he was matching her gown, which I thought was very beautiful, but I did not like the no slip look. Like I thought a little cute, sexy mini slip would have been cuter with that dress than just to try to show her, skin as much as she did.
Yeah.
Um,
And
that's what
Charlana's
I
and
thought.
Charlana's carrying well. She's carrying well.
Oh, she's carrying very well. I'll get back to what you were saying. I agree with you. I think that Shay was the best dressed lady there. Her hair and makeup was old school Hollywood glam. She looked fabulous. And then next to her, actually, I think it's the woman that was opposite her. Is that Tanisha? We'll get to her in a minute. I think that was Tanisha. Tanisha in the black dress. It wasn't a gown, but it was just like a mid, like at the knee cut, a black little sexy something. I thought that was very sharp.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah, and
also,
for the men, yeah, Hollywood. Hollywood did it for me. He looked good, and I'm not even a big Hollywood fan, just so you know.
yeah. And I just want to make note that I don't know if you got this in your notes, Aubrey, but Tay Cherie could not make it. I would have loved if she could have been there, but she
I
couldn't
know.
make it for some reason.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of odd that she wasn't there, and I don't know if that was just kind of like she felt like she had done enough, and maybe she felt like a little embarrassed because it had went to the point where she had to lift up that platter that she was prepared to swing on Shay. But I don't blame her. I'm a Detroit girl too, girl. So Tay Cherie, call me, girl. We can do an interview. Call me. I'm here. Alex and I are here.
Yeah,
Call me. But we may have someone else from the reunion coming on this week too. But we'll have to save that when everything is confirmed.
right.
Uh, but yeah. So I was wondering that, but I just felt like, you know what, she's a grown woman, and I think she felt like she didn't get a good edit because I literally still remember her saying to the production team in between what was going on, she said, "I didn't sign up for this." So I think that she was kind of ticked off that they didn't protect her better, and that Shay would do something like this even though she signed up for this. She knew what it was. So why are you trying to cuss this lady out, and why are you trying to swing on her? I don't get it.
Yeah, and that was before, of course, we seen the growth in Shay. So after that incident, I guess when we really first started seeing Shay's growth. But I
Yeah.
just I just would have loved to see what Tay Cherie had to say on the
Mm-hmm.
reunion. I'm just sorry she missed it.
Yeah, and we're gonna circle back to that because I want to get these in order basically about yeah, but that's a good point. Um okay. Let's see, get back to where we were. Okay, so in the scene, we see that we move into them talking about Shay and Alfonso having actually broke up again after the proposal and after she accepted his his marriage proposal. Um, we see that Shay is saying that basically her and Alfonso broke up once again due to his infidelity. What are your thoughts about that?
Jeremy, you want to go first or what?
No, go ahead.
Well, I think listen. Again, I think that Shay knew all along that Alfonso was cheating. I told you guys what go on these tours. With the groupies and the backstage passes and the parties at the hotels. I mean, it should be common sense what he was doing. Um, Shay knew what he was doing, but it wasn't in her face as far as him admitting it, and she didn't see anything as far as we know outside of women approaching him in the street. So she knew, but it's a whole different reality. See, knowing something and proving it is two different things. So once it came out of his mouth that he was cheating on her during these tours and whatever else he's doing, then it became real for her. Okay. So if you walk in on your significant other doing something with somebody else or hear them admit it, it's different than just knowing. So once she had reality check in her face, then she had to take a step back and say, okay, is this something that I can deal with moving forward? With all this stuff that he done on tour, because she doesn't. I mean, quite frankly, honestly, she don't know what the sexual acts were he was committing. Okay, if he was protecting himself, okay, with these women, all
Hmm.
this she doesn't know. Okay. So she had to take a step back and probably get a checkup and go to the doctor or whatever she needed to do and get her mind right before she felt she could move forward with him and actually get over and live with that and not bring it up during every disagreement or discussion. Because if you're going to forgive somebody, you're going to forgive them. They don't want to hear it every time you guys have a discussion or argument or whatever. You forgive it, you leave it alone. Otherwise, don't forgive it in the first place.
Better her than me, because I couldn't have forgave it, nor would I forget it. But that's just me. But Jeremy, what were your thoughts on this the infidelity and what happened?
First and foremost, I want to applaud Shay for apologizing to Tay Cherie because like she definitely deserved her apology because it was like she went there going a date not to be sticking plates at people in self defense. So I was really happy that she gave out an apology. I thought that was really classy. I thought that she looked good. But when it comes to like her and Fonzo, I think that she sounds completely ridiculous. And I think everybody else knows too. Like she said, like, like I guess Egypt asked her, like, well, is he doing the work? And she said, yeah, because if Fonzo wasn't doing the work, then we wouldn't even be here. I was like, yes, we would. Yes, we would. Shay, even if Fonzo is not doing it, you're not going nowhere. Because how else are you gonna afford these big dresses with ruffles on them?
So
Holler, I hollered.
so so it's funny. So Jeremy, you still think after all of this, she's still after the bag?
Yes, like and it's not saying that that's a bad thing. Like I feel like most women need to date, with the intent of doing hypergamy. But I'm just saying that when it comes to, you know, her losing the bag, she's not to do that. She's gonna act like she's mad. She might even leave for a couple of weeks. But she ain't going nowhere permanently because she ain't about to let no woman come and intersect and take all of that money and be the other one, riding around in like, his Rolls Royce with big ruffle dress. So at the end of the day, I don't think she's going nowhere. And I really wish we stop acting like Shay all of a sudden came to the conclusion of an epiphany that really changed her mindset. She was on the BS all the way up until the finale. Then all of a sudden, you know what, Dr. Nicole, I really feel that I can control Fonzo. Like, sis, you already knew that in the beginning, but didn't care. You wanted to fight any woman that came too close to him. And I guarantee you, if he did the same thing again, you'll be, walking up on another one. And hopefully she don't pick up another China plate. But I'm just saying that I don't think that Shay made any type of change at all. And I feel like everything is still the same. I feel like maybe, just maybe, Lonzo may be a bad man, but as long as he got this cleavage out and these blouses and
There
these
you go
and like
again.
the
Oh.
Cuban link hanging down the decolletage, I don't think he can be trusted.
Leave my word decolletage out of this fiasco. Men can't have decolletage. Okay, and so
Jeremy loves that
Jeremy,
word now. He loves that word. Aubrey, you
yes, he
started something.
does. I started something, but you know what? But Jeremy, to your point, you hit on my next topic. Is Shay trying to revert back to her old ways like a bad perm? Because I saw her slip off her the tools that she had learned. And I think the bottom line is her culture and her worldview is that she's going to be angry and she's going to project all her anger on her man being a cheater and being unfaithful on whatever woman looks his way. Doesn't matter if the woman actually slept with him or if she's out on a date that was sanctioned by, i.e., Shay. Shay is and I will give you, like Jeremy, what you said. I love that she did offer an apology, but sometimes in things, as we retrain our minds and we go into a new way of thinking, that has to be deeper than just one day. It's like you have to wake up every day and your intention has to be that I need to communicate better and clearer with my man. I need to get an understanding about who he is, and if I'm able to really walk this walk with this man that basically comes from a culture and a mindset that it's okay for him to cheat. It's okay for him to do whatever he wants to do with his body sexually, because as long as he's taking care of the bills
Mhm.
and buying her those fancy dresses and a big old wedding ring, that it's okay. So, I mean, people need to actually honestly ask themselves, there's a lot of delusion going on between these three couples. There is a
She was
lot of delusion in the men and the women.
and she was up there saying, like, and Fonzo want a clown. I was like, you're gonna be the clown at the wedding. Shay, you're the clown that he's hiring for the wedding. Because you're the only clown in this room. Is this man has not changed. Ain't no changing in this man. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that Fonzo can be trusted. I think because Fonzo is a nice guy, and
Hmm.
just because you're a nice person and you're kind, and you're cordial, and you're quiet, does not mean that you still can't be cheating on the down low. Like this
Right.
man was never
And by
rude, was never.
and
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I just want to clarify something. And by on the down low, you mean what exactly?
I mean, like, basically doing stuff in the DMs like with other women.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So I'm saying, like, I'm like, is he was always a nice person, but that doesn't mean that he was ever faithful or really held her feelings into consideration. Maybe he has changed. I don't know, but I think it's quite coincidental that everything changes right when we hit the finale. But the episode before that, there was no change. But
He was
right,
still
but right as we're about to exit the process, all of a sudden everybody's getting epiphanies. But y'all couldn't see this 8 weeks ago. We've been watching this show for over 12 weeks. So I don't know why all of a sudden at the reunion, everybody all of a sudden is fixed. Like, these people are clowns.
But Aubrey, and Jeremy too.
I think there
Uh,
was some growth. I really do believe, like Jeremy, I have to say, I do believe there was some growth in Alfonso, because one of the things that Shay even confirmed was that she had holiday dinners with his family. And so he was recognizing her as the woman in his life and no longer hiding her in the closet. So I think there's some growth and some development. But like I said, to your point, I agree with you. I think that women have to really look at, if you're dating a guy, that's living this certain type of lifestyle and you feel like he's cheating, and chances are if you feel it in your gut, he probably is. Okay, so then the other question you have to ask yourself, are you willing to live your whole life in terms of being married to this person? Are you willing to be in a long-term relationship with this person if they're a cheater? Are you willing to take whatever risk of your body, your sexual organs, diseases, and everything else, and your heartbreak to be with this man? Because I wouldn't be.
It's like she's
So
making a decision to be a kept woman. And so I want to ask you, Aubrey, and other women in the chat, can you respect somebody who's making a decision to be a kept woman? Because
She's
when you
not kept.
have,
She has a job. She has
listen,
businesses.
but
Go
listen,
ahead. What are
okay,
you saying? What are
okay.
you saying?
are
I
you
don't know
just
what
saying it
she does. The money is his. The majority of it, I can guarantee you, is his.
I
Okay.
mean, but
I'm
she's
not
still
saying she doesn't do
working.
I
anything.
want you to keep that same energy when we come around to the finances with Kenny and Shorty. But go ahead.
Yeah,
And I'm just
yeah.
saying,
Keep the
like, the
same.
meaning of a kept woman doesn't work
Why doesn't it work, Jeremy, for you?
because they're kept. They don't need to work.
Right.
Right, and she doesn't need to. So if she's
But I'm
But
kept,
she
saying she
does.
does. But I'm saying she does work, so she's not kept.
but she
Yeah.
doesn't
So
have
even
to.
if
That's a
he's
choice.
providing her with nicer things, it doesn't mean what Jeremy's saying. It doesn't mean that she's kept. So even if she's working and she has businesses of her own that she runs, and he's doing something extra for her, that's on him.
But
So I
what are
think
those
that you want.
businesses, Aubrey? What are those businesses?
We
What does
don't
she
know. I
do?
don't know what her businesses are. I don't know, but that's
We
beside the point because you, the fact that she does work, she does have businesses, and he even said it on the reunion. So where were you? Did you not hear that?
No, I heard that. But okay, she got her own businesses. She got her own money. What is she staying for? What is she staying for? And deal with all that cheating and him handing women money in the
Alex,
streets
it's a
and all this.
bevy of women. You know this. You know this
I mean,
yourself. Okay,
it's
it's
more
a
so
bevy of women. Hold on, Jeremy. There's a
uh,
bevy of women in this world that are willing to put up with cheating because they quote unquote love that man. They love their man.
Well, that was
Okay.
my question. That was my
Well,
question. Do y'all have any
okay then.
respect for a woman who stays and quote unquote wants to be kept? If she's not kept
She's
because
not
y'all
being
say she
kept.
okay, to me she's being kept because most of that money, I guarantee you, is his money.
but that's not. But I'm
You would
saying
like to
you
look
can't
at that
like.
that
I'm
way.
saying you can't just because you feel something is a definition of something, Alex. Don't mean that you can just change the
Thank you.
definition of the word to
Okay.
fit what you want it to
o-
be. I mean, maybe
Okay.
you should think of another word. Maybe you should say
No,
gold
that's
digger,
the word.
money grubber. But like, she's not kept because if she was kept, she wouldn't be working. But I'm saying I understand what you're saying. But I'm saying
Mm.
the word that you're using does not fit the definition that you
Mm-mm.
want it
It
to
Okay.
doesn't
fit.
fit the
Okay.
scenario
Well,
here
all
at
right. Well,
all.
let's put it this way. She signed up to be cheated on, to be ran around on. She signed up for that. Okay. And she's
What
gonna
is
have to
all this
accept that.
vitriol that you have? I'm just really listening, and,
It's
and I,
not.
I I guess I want to ask you. No, no, no. Hold on,
Mm-hmm.
because you've got a lot of vitriol for her saying that she, which like I said, I wouldn't accept it, but I don't have any vitriol for her. So where's your vitriol for the guy that's the cheater? That's what I'm curious about.
First, I don't have vitriol. I'm making a point because he is who he is. Okay,
Mm,
the same thing she was complaining about, she married into it. So are you going to keep complaining? You just because you married into it. Okay, you
Well,
know
she
what he
ain't
does,
complaining no
and
more.
chances are he's going to go back to that. He may be a good boy for a little while or whatever, but he knows what she's going to accept because he's been accepting it for 3.5 years. So that
Ravine agrees with you. She says yes, Alex.
yeah, I'm just saying, don't don't complain about something and then marry into it. That's backwards thinking. That's backwards behavior.
Okay, now DeSosa has a very good point. Yeah, DeSosa, I agree with you because I don't understand women. I mean, like, no woman out here, if that's not your woman, does not have an agreement with you to do XYZ or to not do XYZ. Be angry with the person that you're actually in the relationship with. Okay, if that
This
person's out
over.
there cheating or breaking boundaries, be upset with that person. Don't be upset with the woman who doesn't know you from a can of paint.
This over. You be putting all the blame on the women in every show that we watch.
Okay, guys,
know
I
you
tried
was
to
gonna
come
call
over
her
here
out.
to the chat, but I want to get back to. I want us to stay a little bit on task because we got a lot of stuff to get through
Oh
here.
my
And
goodness.
I want to ask you, Jeremy, because I know you're gonna read this. Do you think that Tanisha, who had been dating Alfonso and is very, very attractive, I feel very beautiful. Do you think she was doing a little bit too much on that reunion stage? And she was talking about her ability to pull almost any man. She could have any man she wants.
Um, uh, I'm not gonna hold you. I don't remember that happening.
Oh, okay. Well, Alex, do you remember Tanisha? I
I
know you do,
listen, listen,
cause she got a big old dunk, so I know you remember.
listen. First of all, I got the hots for her.
I know
So
you do.
I believe everything she said. When she said she, matter of fact, she pulled Shay's date. He was right next to her, and she said we're going out. You know, after the
I somehow
reunion.
didn't feel like that was as big a pull as pulling Shay's man Alfonso. I don't think that was as big a pull, but I do
Wait,
believe, given a few more drinks, I do believe Alfonso would have been like,
He was doing
let's
everything. He was doing everything in his
He was
power,
working
not to
hard. He was
working
sweating. He had
hard.
broke out into a sweat. His décolletage was getting all sweaty and whatnot.
There you go with that word again. There's that word again. Oh my, there's that word.
I holler, because that man, he know he was resisting that beautiful young woman.
He worked hard. He worked hard not to touch her. He worked hard for her not to feed him any food. He worked hard to be a good guy on that date with her. He worked hard.
Like Chloe Johnson, who gave that fabulous interview, and thank you for that interview. Oh my gosh, that was just mind blowing. The interview that you did with Milan, was that earlier today? Yes. Chloe says women will put up with a broke man for love and good deed. So peeing and eggs, basically peeing and eggs is what
That's
you're
it.
saying. I
That's
won't,
it.
but okay, knock yourselves out, ladies.
Peeing and eggs.
Peeing and eggs. Peeing and
See,
eggs.
look, Aubrey. That's what. See, y'all said vitriol, but the Sosa hit it. Shay can't afford her lifestyle on her own. She is 100% a kept woman. That's what she can work, but she has a choice.
Well, we know the so we know the Sosa. We know how she has a tendency to lean a little certain kind of way. So
no, she keeping it real. She
no,
keeping it real.
no.
She keeping it real.
But
On
moving right
this,
along.
I think Shay can afford her lifestyle. I just don't think that she can afford the upgraded lifestyle that
That's what he's
Fonzo
saying,
offers her.
Jeremy.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
think she can get. I think she can afford her own AliExpress wigs. I think she can afford
Where's
that.
the
The
sound
BBL
machine
already
at right
done. You
now?
can get that. You can get a BBL from during income tax time. She can afford that.
Ooh, I hollered,
Alrighty.
Jeremy. You are not gonna keep me in stitches here. But I guess we already covered this one. We'll learn to okay. Moving on along. We're gonna move on along to the couple du jour.
Jeremy's
What do
favorite.
what, yes, Charlana and Otis. I left that one just open ended. Jeremy, start now
Yeah.
about Charlana and Otis and this whole situation with Miss Milan.
All right. I am completely disappointed. I am completely, flabbergasted at the stupidity that Charlana has been exhibiting ever since the finale. And I low key blame Dr. Nicole because she was ready to leave at one point, but Dr. Nicole stopped her and told her it's more important things happening in the world right now. A few weeks ago, she wanted to talk about Russia instead of the relationship and the fact that Otis was texting other women. Like, we should have been taking this more seriously back then. If we had investigated this, we would have already found out what was going on between him and Milan. But of course, we didn't do that because Dr. Nicole truthfully does not care about any one of these people. But I found it quite stupid that, Charlana was up there like, I read the text messages and you were really on him. Like, girl, yes, you were. Like, first and foremost, sis, I know you just want to think that you're the only attractive one that he's attracted to, sis. But let me tell you something. This man, the hairline ain't no good. I
Not
had
the
been
airline.
What you gotta go there for, Jeremy?
I've been saying for a long time that Otis cannot be trusted, and the fact that like now all of a sudden she has these receipts, and Charlana does not care, and she's up there like, well, I didn't see those receipts, duh, stupid, because he deleted them. Why? What man
Right.
wouldn't do that? Like I was like, what does Charlana do for a living? Because it can't be anything that involves intelligence or anything that
Now,
involves,
Jeremy, that's your girl,
Let him
Jeremy.
go. Let him go.
it's like
No,
it's,
let him go. Let him go.
it's like it's definitely given. I don't know much about algebra, but 1 + 1 = 2. Like I just don't like anything about their relationship. And now we're looking at her like her Instagram lives, and she's up there like, it was really the editing. Like, Otis is such a nice guy, you guys. I was like, but you said it. You said that he told you to go take a shower and that you felt disgusted by that. You said that.
Mhm.
You said that you weren't being listened to. You were saying all of this stuff. So how all of a sudden is it the editing? And I was like, I hate y'all who on network. Y'all love to say that. Y'all like to blame every single thing about y'all relationships, about the way that y'all act on editing. Sis, we can't edit words in your mouth. Your man said that. Your man said that he
Mhm.
was texting another woman outside of the process. Your man told you to go take a shower. Your man was being
Mhm.
petty with you. You and your man was about to break up because he was texting other women. So all of a sudden it was all editing.
Mhm.
Charlana. Like man, I'm gonna try to attribute it to you having pregnancy brain, but I'm gonna need you to realize that out of out of all of out of all the jokes that have been told, you are the biggest one right now. You're sitting here 6 months pregnant by a man who you just found out was offering kisses and trying to meet up with a chick that was putting him on was putting him on ice. And you sitting here talking
Mhm.
about we're happy. I was like, no, we're pregnant. That's what it is. We're pregnant. We're not happy. We're pregnant. You don't sit here and tell me that you're not mad about this. Like, you're a
Mhm.
clown. And the fact that Otis is just sitting there talking about it what it was all a lie. None of that is true. Wow. Crazy. No, that did not happen. I showed her the DMs and that's just that. Moving on. Like, Otis, you are a clown. Everything about you is clown like, from the hairline to the way that you dress. I don't like anything about these two people. And the fact that Charlana is the one that's trying to embarrass the women. At least Shay gave an apology. But this one right here, Charlana wants to sit here and like try to make it seem that Milan was just so thirsty for Otis and everything else like that. I was like, sis, if you don't think he wanted a piece of that, to break him off, keeps that cat bar, you're crazy. Because he's been texting her.
Mhm.
He's been texting her. And I said it back then. Although Miss Aubrey, actually Aubrey
Aubrey.
kind of disagreed with me. She thought that he was not doing anything physical with anybody, that he was not really cheating, that he was just doing this to be petty. I said that I thought that if you're texting somebody, it could always go up a level. Like, and I felt that he was being very inappropriate back then as well. And I thought that she should have left him right then and there. Because once they start talking to other people, trying to cheat on you the way that Dr. Nicole wants y'all to be cheated on, that's why she keeps on bringing all of these loose women to talk to y'all men, that like, what do you expect? I despise you, Dr.
Mhm.
Nicole. Everything about you is trifling. Everything about you is
Not
you're
trifling.
you're a trifling woman. You specifically pick women who like will sleep with married men, will sleep with men in a relationship, with entertain men in a relationship, so just so they can come to the reunion and cut up like this. Like, the women that you don't bring any woman that has a lot going for herself on the show to date these men. You don't bring established women, because you want to know why? Because established women wouldn't entertain anybody in an actual relationship. So you get chicken heads who want fame, who won't mind trying to get a bag, or trying to sleep these men, and then entertain these men. You bring them onto the show to try to mess up people's relationship further. I don't like Dr. Nicole. And I don't care what y'all say. It's no, sir. I don't need somebody coming into my relationship to test my man. I don't need that. No. Life will test us. I don't need, Tanisha, Tay Cherie to come and test my man. I don't need that. That's stupid. If that's the case, how about y'all let a side chick come in y'all marriage and test y'all man and see how faithful he is. Bet you wouldn't do that. Bet you y'all wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm. I saw
Bet
that
you wouldn't do
rocket.
that. Because
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
nobody will openly bring in third parties to test their man because they know it's a possibility that their man might get weak.
Teach Jeremy.
Dr.
Keep
Ponytail,
going.
you ain't ish. I don't like you. Miss Aubrey, I mean, actually, Aubrey might. She might be. I'm letting you know. I'm going to be dragging you by the edges on my review tomorrow. I
Mm.
have,
Wow.
I have pressure with Dr. Nicole. She knows what she's doing. Bring specific women. Like she did the same thing with Kai and the other dude, last Darian. Like, why would you bring a Kai on the show? Somebody who why would you even bring Myasia on the show talking about, let's see who the best woman wins? I thought this wasn't a show for the people to come and take the people in the relationship. I thought we was just trying to test it, but it seemed like she was trying to take Kenneth. So I'm saying, what type of women are you trying to bring on the show to do this, Dr. Nicole? We don't like you. I don't care how many streams you do with Little Black Book and Crystal XO. You are a clown.
Lord have
Ooh.
mercy. Boy, he going
Well,
in heavy. He going in heavy
he,
now.
he done went in heavy. Okay, here, take a break. So I think you should jump in there,
I'm so
Alex.
hard, and I'm
Oh,
trying
wait, wait,
so
wait.
hard not to cuss. Like,
Yeah.
I
You're
don't
doing a
like
good
anything.
job. You're doing a good
I
job.
don't like anything you stand for, Dr. Nicole. You're a clown. You're not good at what you do. We still don't know what you do. You haven't fixed anybody's relationship. You haven't fixed anything. People be like, Dr. Nicole is good at what exactly does Dr. Nicole do? What
She's
is
a
it?
relationship coach. She's a relationship
Her,
coach. They said
whose
that at the
relationship has she
reunion.
coached and it worked?
I don't know, but what I will say is there's a very grave difference between a relationship coach or any type of coaching versus an actual therapist. And I really highly think a lot of these people from this show, the six people individually, and if they're together, they're going to need actual therapy and counseling from
Yes,
actual people who do
yes,
counseling and therapy, because the
yes.
coaching thing, that's kind of like low level if you got an okay life and maybe you're trying to figure out a little something. But if you got mid level, high level problems, you need a therapist. You need a counselor that's certified, okay? Board certified. I'm sorry.
Chloe, she's not helping them build trust and set their boundaries in real life because these are not real life situations. You would never invite your man to go on a date and test him. Like, that's not real. On to me, what would be more realistic if we examine their mental health and what has caused them to make the decisions that they've been making throughout their relationship. If we got down to the root of everything rather than bringing side chicks to hopefully like intercept my man. I'm just saying,
Mm.
like, if we had to actually counsel these people and like really try to get to the root of why they make the decisions that they make and try to give them the tools to change them, that would have
Yes.
been way more impactful than what we're getting now. This does not help them in real life because in real life, you think Shay's gonna let somebody go on a date with her man? That
Well,
like
she
that
ain't gotta let
situation
him.
will never happen. They're just gonna go and do it on a sneak tip now.
Yeah, Jeremy, she ain't gotta
Back
let
to
him do
back to
nothing.
cheating, back to cheating like they used to do.
He been
Now it's just
doing it.
not in
She ain't
front of
gotta
the
let him do
camera.
nothing. Yeah, that's all.
This is like
That's it.
she is like Dr. Nicole is a clown. Like she's a clown. Clown.
Well,
Mm,
Completely useless. And
yeah.
I'm saying this, like, we really need doctors, who's been therapists, who's been psychiatrists, to really go into the psyche of the human mind to be a life coach for people. We don't need women who just got their doctorate degrees from ICDC college, off of the Romeo Miller, connect from
ooh,
the commercials. We don't
Lord have
need that. We
mercy.
need people who are actually qualified to do this. She ain't qualified. It's obvious. Just the same, the way that she was handling Shorty, ain't no way of an official woman who's a therapist who saw people struggle with domestic abuse would treat Shorty the way that Dr. Nicole was. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Mm.
She got that doctorate from ITT Tech. And want to sit here and make it seem like she's astute. No, she's just an older chicken
Not the
head
tech,
who
not
managed to
the
get a
tech
show and
school.
setting these relationships up. Like, she is trash. I would rather go to the married at first sight people before I ever went to Dr. Nicole. I'd rather have Dr. Pepper and her estranged husband give me relationship advice than Dr. Nicole.
Ooh, ooh, oh Lord.
Lord, yeah.
Okay, Jeremy, is it okay if Alex and I slip in here now?
Okay, I'm off for a minute.
Ah, cool
Yeah.
off. All right,
Yeah.
Alex. What are your thoughts on Charlana and Otis, and
Yeah.
and the whole Milan Rouge situation?
Yeah, this is where Egypt dropped the ball, and was upsetting to me that she dropped the
Yes.
ball on this, because Otis is a liar. It's clear that he's a liar, because right now Charlana allowed herself to get into a situation carrying his child. Her hormones are all over the place. She's in all these feelings now. She feels trapped because, truth be told, men get women pregnant to trap them too. We always talk about women trapping men with babies, but men will impregnate women to trap them. And if Charlana's not careful, he's going to trap her. He's going to knock her up 2 and 3 times to keep her. Okay, so he'll know she's in the house taking care of the babies while he's doing what he wants to do. Okay, now if this one, now of course we know that Otis deleted his text, and Milan is like, but I got receipts. I want to show these receipts. And Egypt was like, no, they're having a baby. They're trying to build a family. They're moving on now. So we all need to just move on. No, I want to know what these receipts are that Milan had. He met her in person at a parking lot. Why did he go there to meet her in this parking lot? Okay. Why is he DMing her? Where's the interest? And of course, one piece of it is he just petty because Charlana kept going on the same date with this other guy. What's his name? The Odell Beckham lookalike. Okay. She kept going on a date with this guy, and Otis wanted to be petty. Okay, behind the scenes. He said on the show, I DM'd her. I didn't think it was a serious thing. You kept DMing her, and she got these receipts. And Egypt should have let her speak on these receipts. Okay. Otis he succeeded in trapping Charlana. She has allowed herself to be trapped because she was just scared to lose him for whatever the reason. She was scared to lose Otis, and now she's really stuck. Okay, she wasn't stuck before. Now she's stuck, and I wish them luck. I don't wish anything bad on any of them. They got an innocent child coming into it. That's what upsets me more than anything else, because you're going to bring a baby into it just to hold on to this woman. She wants to have the baby to hold on to this dream that's not realistic. It's going to cause them a whole lot of pain moving down the road. So she's stuck. And I think Egypt should have let Milan do her thing and stayed out of that. So I'm not sure if it's corporate interests or whatever, or OWN said something to Egypt to not let that go on, or they edited it out or whatever. Because like Jeremy said, everybody blames editing. Okay. But we need to see as viewers, if she got something on Otis, we need to know what it is, because we supported this show, okay, for 12 weeks. And we're going to watch the show for 12 weeks, and you don't give us our payoff, I'm pissed off.
Yeah, like, Charlana's an idiot. I would have control alt deleted that fetus at the following Planned Parenthood that would have been down the street. I don't know why she's up here trying to have a baby with this man who know ain't good. I don't like. Why would you even do this? It's the stupidity of all of these people on this stage for me. Like, I am so glad this is over. My God, like, everybody's an idiot.
You know what,
Everybody. I
Aubrey?
I
Aubrey,
couldn't believe she's
Well,
sitting here proud.
I
yeah,
think that
I want to hear what you think,
Charlana,
Aubrey.
if I can get my little piece in here now,
Yeah.
I think that Charlana um, is very manipulated, and a lot of people use the analogy of a puppeteer. That Otis is the puppeteer, and that Charlana is his puppet. And I think that I really agree with that. As sad as it is, I didn't want to believe it at first, but I could see that he was a master manipulator. He clearly has narcissistic traits. And it's also clear that Otis really doesn't care about anybody but himself. When I saw the picture of Charlana pregnant, very pregnant, standing up, and Otis sitting down in the chair like he was the king of the joint, I'm trying to figure out what in what world does a man, particularly the father of the child that the woman is carrying, in what world does he remain seated while she stands? Like, it really tells a whole complete story about Otis. Otis is horrible. He's
And you know,
horrible.
you know what, Aubrey? When I lived in New York and I would ride the trains or the buses or things like that, and the trains and buses in New York tend to stay crowded. Okay, if a pregnant woman got on that train or that bus and I was sitting down, I immediately gave my seat up. Immediately. Okay, to that pregnant woman is not going to stand up in my presence under no circumstances. Okay, so if that's his queen, she should be sitting down. Now, maybe we didn't see all the pictures or whatever. I don't know what excuse they're going to use for that, but she need to be sitting down and he need to be standing up. Period.
Yeah, there were other pictures. You're right. There were other pictures. He was seated on the throne once again, and she was seated between his legs on the floor. There were other pictures, and I know it was a photo shoot. I get it, but I'm just saying that would not have been a photo that I would have agreed to taking as her as a pregnant woman. I would not have agreed to taking that. Now, we
And
could
once
have both been
again,
seated on a love seat. We could have both been seated on a love seat. He could have been standing. I'm standing, and he's standing with his arms around me, with his hands on the baby bump. But no, I'm not gonna be standing up, and your whole butt is got your leg thrown across the chair, basically, like very blasé. Because that's the way he takes her. That's the way he treats her. Very blasé, very nonchalant. He doesn't really care about her. He likes her because she's beautiful and she's an arm piece, but she's disposable, and he showed that by the way he went after Milan. So,
mm,
And despite Aubrey and Jeremy, despite all the rhyme and reason, and a lot of people do this, and we're talking about women right now. Despite all the rhyme and reason, she just want what she want. She wanted to hear certain words, and he finally got around to saying it. As painful as it was for him, because he's not a natural communicator. Okay, he's self-centered. Okay, somewhat of a narcissist. And I know we throw those words around, narcissist, sociopath, and they're two entirely different things. And we'll get into that when we get on Kenny. Okay, but Otis is a narcissist, and a narcissist, what they do is they'll screw up every day, all day. They'll screw up, get caught, and then they will make you feel guilty for catching them for screwing up. And then even though you're the one hurt, you'll sit there and go, I'm sorry for catching you. I'm sorry I caught you. I'm sorry for making you cheat on me. I'm sorry for making you DM her. I'm sorry. That's what a narcissist will make you do when they've worked on your mind over and over and over again. And she's in a very vulnerable situation right now because she's pregnant. Her hormones are all over the place. She's in a total emotional place right now where all she's concerned about is feelings, feelings. She can't even think straight. And he knows that. So they got some bumpy roads ahead. They got a bumpy road ahead.
yeah,
wow.
like Charlana is definitely an idiot. Definitely. I don't even know why you said despite what I said, because I've been saying that she's an idiot this whole review. But I'm saying, like, I really cannot believe she didn't let this demon infiltrate her womb. I can't believe it. This is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
what she
Yeah.
need to do is pull out some Raid and spray Otis like the roach that he is.
That's the problem.
Like,
That's the
Oh
problem.
Lord.
That's the
Oh
problem.
Lord.
He didn't pull out. That's the problem. He didn't pull out. That's why she's in the position
Anyway,
she's in right now.
anyway, before we get so graphic, I just think, yeah, Chloe, I'm with you. I'm sitting pregnant or not. I'm real old school. I believe in chivalry. It is not dead, and if it's dead, it's not dead in the man that I'm going to be dating and seeing. So now, y'all want to accept these men as they are and not give any type of pressure for them to treat you as a lady, that's on y'all, because that's not me. And no, I'm not taking no picture. I'm 7, 8 months pregnant and I got a baby bump in the glow, but I gotta stand up and he's sitting down like he been doing so much. Like he probably ate all that 12 pounds of salmon and now he's full. He getting ready to sit there and burp. What's going on? No. Hey, Chloe, as you say, uh, that that is just a mess. That is just a mess. That whole Otis thing is a mess. Otis, what is the Sosa? What did you say? Otis is Otis all day long. It's her choice to have a baby with him. It's on her. It's on them both. How about that? And to you too, Monique, it's on them both because you know what? It takes two to tango. And you guys are not going to sit up here and be male identifying and just think that it's okay. It takes two to tango. Don't no woman, excuse me, I'm talking.
Okay.
Don't no woman make no baby by herself. I'm sorry, okay? But I will say this though to that whole situation. Yeah, it is quite ignorant for Charlana to have gotten impregnated by Otis after 3 years of dating. Like this wasn't like no one night stand and oops, you made a baby. You for 3 years kept yourself from not getting pregnant. Okay, and you wanted to be married. Why not wait until you were within the realms of marriage, into marital unity? Because that means so much in terms of benefits, not just for you as a woman and as his wife, but for that child also. And I really don't believe that Otis is going to marry Charlana. That's my thoughts on that.
And listen, and that's the Sosa is saying, yeah, we on Otis hard.
Thank you, high vibe. Gaslighting.
Listen, we on Otis hard. But what the Sosa is saying is we just cannot sit back and let Charlana off the hook. She still made some conscious decisions to get pregnant. She still made some conscious decisions to allow this man up in her to impregnate her and deal with these lies that he was telling her. Okay, with the fake crocodile tears at the table when he was trying to cry, face was dry as it can be, dry as the desert. Okay,
dry as his conversation too. Dry as his conversation.
He just told her what she wanted to hear, Jeremy. That's all he did. And she knew that.
We already calling Charlana an idiot. What you want us to punch her in the face? What else can we do? We literally been
saying you know Alex gonna be hard. You know he gonna be hard on her. But I mean, let's just all agree that
what else can I say on her?
Hey guys, can we all agree, the three of us, okay, never mind the people in the chat for the moment, but just the three of us, can we all agree that both Charlana and Otis were wrong for this, for deciding to make this baby at this time without the benefit of marriage, which they supposedly came on the show called Put a Ring on It for? Because I don't care if you go down to the courthouse, you go to the pastor, and you get married in his quarters or her quarters. It doesn't really matter. You can have the big celebration and slim down for the dress later. That's fine. But all this waiting on marriage, what you waiting for? You're already pregnant. What you waiting on? It's been 3 years. You know this guy, and apparently, just like Shay, you've decided to accept him for his low performance. You decide to accept this Otis guy for his low performance because you know that's all you're going to ever get out of him. He's not going to be emotionally intelligent. He's not going to ever comfort you. We've seen several times this season where that girl was in tears. She was crying. And what did Otis do? Did he put his arm around her? Did he hold her? Did he touch her? Did he comfort her? No, he basically had a smirk on his face. Same smirk he had on his face when Milan came out and was telling the truth. So we know that he's a smirker. So that's it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this real quick, okay? And who's in the chat saying this? Oh, a Chloe Johnson. She thinks the baby will save the relationship. Charlana thinks the baby will save the relationship, okay? And a lot of people do that. They think that if they bring a baby in, it's going to bring them closer together. They're going to become a family and a tight unit and so forth. And the child is going to do that. How are you going to put that on an infant? Somebody who's not even in the world yet, don't know what's going on. And people do this all the time, and that needs to stop. You're bringing an innocent child into a mess. That's all you're doing, and hoping the child can be a therapist, hoping the child can heal a damaged relationship. It never works. It has never worked, and it will never work.
It would be a lot cheaper to actually go to therapy, not a coach, but an actual therapist.
Right, ain't gonna be cute when the baby gotta suckle all of that powder out of that she gonna be using his breast milk, because we all know that whenever Otis gets upset, he don't let Charlana eat. So the baby and Charlana gonna be.
I hope the baby don't like salmon because he won't
Oh,
get none.
oh Lord, oh Lord. Okay, okay, guys. I think we have terrorized the two of them for long enough. Now to the piece de resistance, Shorty and Kenneth.
Wow, Aubrey,
Alex, Alex, I'm gonna let you go. You go ahead and go about Shorty and Kenneth. Your thoughts on Shorty and Kenneth?
yeah, again, I'm going to start with Egypt, who dropped the ball because
Yes,
there,
she did.
there were so many times during Shorty and Kenny where Kenny was about to go off the deep end, and she kept stopping him from going off the deep end. Okay, he was going to go over the mountain, and and the entire world would have seen that he's a loose cannon, he's a borderline sociopath, and all that kind of stuff. And she kept, no, Kenny, no, stop it. She's trying to move on with her life. She's trying to do this. She's trying to get better, and you got to do the same thing. Anytime he just was about to go off the cliff, she stopped him. She gave him a lifeline. The entire world needs to see this is a man who sits outside her job. This is a man who go on her employer's website to degrade her and berate her. This is a man who steals her banking information to get his rent back that he paid to take money from her. Okay, this is a man that does all of this stuff. This man is a head case. Okay, and this is the difference between a narcissist and a sociopath. I explained this a narcissist, but here's the difference between a narcissist and a sociopath. A narcissist will scare you physically. Not a narcissist, excuse me. A sociopath will scare you physically. Okay, and a sociopath will go to the point where they can, as you say, unalive you. Okay, that's what a sociopath will do when they get to a point where they're so desperate and so angry and so unstable, they will unalive you. Okay. And that's what Shorty was afraid of. And she said she used the show. She already knew when she came on the show, I wanted to get out of this and I needed help. Because here she's going to the authorities. She's going to different family members. Her family's not even around. I don't know if they're in Africa or where they are. Okay. Because had it
They
been
are.
my, had
They
it been
are
my,
in Africa.
okay,
Go
because
ahead.
had it been my sister or my daughter or something like that with Kenny, we rolling up on Kenny. We're gonna roll on him. This is serious business here. Cause too many women are losing their life behind stuff like this. So we the bruh, you gotta go now. Time for you to go, bruh. Get your garbage bags, get your peen and eggs, and you got to get up out of here. Okay, because I'm not going to lose my family member because you're intimidating her and she's scared of you and she's worried about her life and this, that, the other thing. No, you got to go, bro. So Egypt dropped the ball there. She should have let him go off the cliff and let the entire world see how unstable he really is. He's an unstable individual and he can cause her bodily harm, even still to this day. Right now, he's not over her right now. He's still not over her.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with everything. Perfectly said. I agree with everything you said. Of course, I've been in this situation and I don't know all these women that are out here caping for poor Cartwheel Kenny. Like, let's look at something. People say, oh, well, she humiliated him. First of all, since when did being humiliated, if someone's telling the truth, then you're humiliated by the truth. So, he threw his jabs and she threw her jabs. But I saw exactly what she was doing from the second episode when he was stealing her banking information and sending it to his phone. I saw it and I called it out. If you recall, Alex, you remember this. I said it then. She is trying to get away from him. She came on this show to document the things that he's doing: financial abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, and threats to her job. Now everybody can sit up and act like, well, I don't know. I would get rid of him. I would do this. I would put him out. Yeah, we could all say that, but until you're in that situation and you're living there day to day with this nutcase who doesn't have luggage, who didn't wear proper attire for a reunion, and you can say, "Oh, but he's got a job and he's paid some bills." Does that man on that stage look like he paid some bills? I'm sorry. While people were busy laughing at Shorty for him saying that she only earned $25,000 when he met her, so what? Funny thing about it, while he was busy telling how much she earned that year, how much did he tell us about what he earned? Okay, how about that? How about that? How about the fact that you came and lived with her? She didn't come to live with you. Where were you living? In your mom's basement in Louisiana? Get the hell out of here. Who are these women sitting up banging on poor Shorty? She's this, she's that. Well, for all the things that she is, if you looked at all the things that he actually confessed to doing to her, such as stealing her banking information, he didn't agree that he was on her company website. But come on, guys, piece it together, okay? If you can make up all this stuff about Shorty and who she is and how she emasculated, and I guess he learned a new word. He was so proud of himself. What are they doing for schools in Louisiana? You're just now learning emasculate at what? Your big age of 36? Get out of here. She didn't emasculate you. You emasculated your god darn self. You emasculated your own darn self because you know what? You failed as an adult, Kenny. Not just a man, but you failed as a damn adult. No job. You can't keep money in your pocket. You can't even dress for a reunion. You don't have no luggage. You came to the woman with a whole garbage bag of clothes. Who does that? A person that's homeless. Okay? And I'm not knocking people for being poor. I'm not knocking people for being homeless. But what you can't do when you're in those type of situations, what you don't need to be doing is trying to date. So here's the real rub. Kenny planned all of this. Kenneth planned all of this. He's the type of guy that goes around, like she said, looking for somebody who has something to lose. And whether you care about whether she had $25,000 a year or not, but guess what? If she started at the bottom and came up, what was Kenny busy doing? Was he learning a skill? Was he learning how to do carpentry? Was he learning how to do plumbing? No. No, he was busy serving peen and eggs. That's what I got to say about that. Jeremy, it's on you.
First, I want to start off by saying that if sweating like a crackhead in church was a person, it would definitely be Kenneth. That's exactly what he looked like during a whole reunion. Everything about him gave me six friends. You couldn't afford a suit. Like, bruh, I'm so happy that Miss Aubrey Alley used this to me to go last because I'm gonna eat you up. So my question was, why is it that we need to feel bad that Shorty told the truth? Yeah, it was harsh. Okay. All right. So what? So what? He a grown man. Grown men can handle the truth, even if it is harsh. Sometimes I had to handle the truth that was hard. I remember one time my mama said, baby, you're getting fat. You're getting big. I know we big bone in the family, but baby, you kind of thick. It ain't a good look for a man. And I was like, you know, mama, I probably need to tighten up literally. But like I'm saying, like us as men should be able to handle truths. Like I don't understand, what is it that Kenneth is being like, fed this long wooden spoon? Like I just don't get it. And then another thing, like Kenneth said, I had to, I took some time to get some silence, to really think about some things. You heard, like I even know the homeless shelter had a silent place for you to think, Kenneth, because you ain't got no place to stay. You're saying all of this stuff about her, but I'm saying you didn't sell your home, get rid of your mortgage to come all the way up and have anything in the beginning. Regardless if she had 4 leg cords that was freezer burnt, it was still in her house, in her kitchen, in her refrigerator. Something that you want to know something, Kenneth, you have none of those things. You don't have a house, you don't have an apartment, you don't have a refrigerator, you don't have a car, you don't have a suit, you don't I just don't get why everybody wants us to feel bad for Kenneth. Like I don't understand why we have to feel bad for aggressive homeless men. Like I understand. I really don't get it. And the fact that Shorty was she's like, so Shorty, would you like to hold yourself accountable for saying the things that you said? First and foremost, Egypt, can we hold you accountable for wearing that tacky outfit? Just because you throw a belt on it, sis, doesn't make it cute. How about we hold you accountable? Well, how about we treat Shorty like a domestic violence victim that she is? You don't just be punched in the face to deal with domestic violence or intimidation or assault in relationships, because that's exactly what she was dealing with. This man was making her feel that she was not safe enough to leave the relationship. And although I do 100% agree that maybe this was not the thing that she should have did, get a TV show, but if she felt like that was the safest course of action, oh well. It ain't, y'all not here to talk about the fact that she came on here and that's not the case. We have way more things to cover, like the fact he's waiting, that he's saying that he's downstairs outside of her home, which completely was just breezed over. That's not serious. What is it with these people? I hate all of y'all. Literally. How dare y'all sit here and make this woman feel like she's wrong, being stalked, for being scared, and everything else like that. It's completely ridiculous. And the fact that she's being villainized for telling this man the truth, it's freaking in my Asia. Look here, sis. I know you want to be on TV. I know you want to be a pick me, and I know you might be. I know the dress may have been a little bit too tight for you, but I'm here to let you know this. You said literally the same thing that Shorty was saying, except you just tried to say it more nicer. You don't want to date Kenneth either because you know he broke. You know that he ain't got nothing going for himself, and you know, like, what woman should be like? Why do you have to get into a relationship to just help somebody get to the next level? Why can't they be at the same level as me? Or why the fact that even though she started off at $25,000 like a year, she managed to get up to $100,000 a year, and you still ask for $2,500 in rent back? Obviously, she's been growing and you stagnant.
Right.
I'm saying, I don't get it. I don't understand why everybody wants to sit here and make Shorty out to be some type of villain. Shorty is not a villain. This 4'11" woman was not sitting here like completely destroying this man. Talking about, I was too in love. I was so attracted to you that I lost myself in you. No, that wasn't the case. See what you did? You found an older woman who you know is kind of cute, that you can have some attraction with. You found her. You knew that she wanted something real and that she wanted companionship. You flew out there knowing that you was going to completely suck her dry. All the money that she had, you was gonna squat in her place, and you was gonna sit here and use her, and you thought that's what you mean, you quote unquote, you losing yourself within her. No, you lost yourself in her wallet. You lost your when you went into the bathroom and stole screenshots of her financial documents. That's when you lost yourself. You are a clown. You ain't nothing. You ain't no man. And you really creep, because all you do is post these old videos of Shorty in these cluster wigs, and I don't understand, why do we even need to say, why nobody talking about this? It's like I was completely dumbfounded. And then you're gonna say you was attracted to her, that you lost yourself, but then you want to call her a little ugly, like J Dub was saying. Then you said that she ain't that girl, that she ain't attractive, and America knows. America also knows that you're a mouth, Kenneth. America also knows you don't look like you take proper baths. You always look like you sweating like profusely in scenes. You always look a little musty. You look like you smell like a little bit armpit. Like, America all knows that. So if we going off what America says, you claim that America, we all just visualizing things that are not real, because you say that you work hard, that you are a real man. So America is wrong when it comes to you, but right when it comes to Shorty. Both y'all are on the same level as far as like attraction levels goes. I will put, Shorty way above you a little bit more, but I'm saying that, like, Kenneth, you're not a model. I don't know why these girls keep saying this about him. That Kenneth is a very attractive man. Where? Is it the grill? Is it the face? Is it the body? Which one? I don't get it. This season has literally traumatized me. I don't know if I could ever look at these professionals the same again, because the way that they handled Shorty, somebody who like, and my mom was a survivor of domestic violence. I was a survivor of domestic violence. So me seeing that, it really disgusted me. In Egypt, chicken headed, alley cat. You a chicken headed alley cat. You say nothing of substance. I don't know why we keep on. I feel like the only reason we're hiring you at this point is because they can pay you in Trident layers, because they ain't paying you no real money. I can tell by your outfits. You're not equipped to do this. Where is the real? Where's Nina Parker when you need her? Why can't we get Nina Parker? Could we please leave Egypt? I wouldn't even try to host my baby shower. You are a classic. And I'm telling you, you and Nicole was sitting there looking like two complete idiots.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Y'all are disgusting. How y'all handled the woman. And how y'all continue to badger her. Like y'all would finish like grilling her, then go ask Kenneth one question. He'll cuss Shorty out, then you'll go back to Shorty and say, "Well, Shorty, do you kind of feel like you were wrong?" No, but what about the man that just cussed her out? What is wrong with y'all?
Crazy capable women for men.
I'm trying to tell you, if I didn't want to punch somebody in the face, I wanted to punch Kenneth in the face. I wanted to hire two of my ratchet ghetto female cousins to drag Egypt by her edges, because the way she on trying Shorty, I was highly offended. Shorty, I'm tired of you trying to be real gracious towards Dr. If you don't drag this lady like she deserves to be dragged, drag her. She deserves to be held accountable for the stuff that she's doing. And so does Egypt. That's why we don't want you to ever be on another hunt. We didn't want you there. We don't want you here. I don't know where you got your degree from for broadcast journalism or communication, but this return a degree. It's not working. You're not equipped. You don't have any of the skill sets. So I could be a better host than you. Y'all, I'm just burning it all down with fire.
Jeremy, and this is why I was upset with Egypt, because she consistently let him off the hook and kept deferring to Shorty. She would not let Kenneth go off the cliff, because I wanted the whole world to see that. He was on the borderline so many times and she would stop him. Now I know she may start with editing stopped it or editing cut it. We only had a 45 minute opportunity to hear him, so we had to save time. No, let that man go off the cliff, because
he's clearly unstable.
I'm still concerned with Shorty's safety right now. She said she hasn't seen or talked to him in 6 months. I'm still concerned with her safety. This man is 6'4". She is 4 feet 10. 4 feet 10.
That's right.
Okay, so he could just stand next to her and she's intimidated, but just based off size alone and the fact that he's a man. Well, some semblance of a man. I'm not sure if he's actually a man.
Male. He's a mature male.
Mature male. He's a little
and
boy
when I
and
say
a man.
Mature, over 18 is what I mean by mature, because he's clearly not mature emotionally or mentally.
There's a boy trapped in a man's body. And there's a lot of that going around. It's pervasive. It's like a virus. You got a lot of these type guys going around. Now, what I will say to Shorty is this: be careful in the future how you select men, particularly bringing men in the house with your son. Okay, because you can't just keep bringing men in the house when you have a son. Because if they don't like your son, or your son don't get along with them, or this guy is a sociopath, he can hurt you and your son. Okay, when women have children, they just can't bring random men in the house and endanger your child. Your child should come first. Now, I know this boy is 19 or 18 or whatever he is, but he's still a child. He's not a fully grown adult yet. And you bring a man in there that can literally hurt both of y'all. So if you're afraid of him, what make you think your son isn't? What make you think if he snapped, he don't snap on both of y'all? So we have to stop this. The women out there, we have to stop this. Make a man prove himself. Hell, move in his house. Why does he have to move in your house? Move in his house.
Kenneth don't have nothing. He don't have no house. He don't have no homestead. No, he don't have that.
Lord have
Because he
mercy.
spent his entire life being a sexual. This is his job. That's his real true job. That's his real true calling and career, is finding women that are unsuspecting, that are willing to, without knowing him, without vetting him, without having been to his place, because, oh, he lived out of state. Well, guess what? They got planes, trains, and buses that go everywhere in this country. I'd have been down there checking out Louisiana, his homestead, okay? But people today don't do enough vetting, not just for shacking up and living together. They don't do vetting for having sex. Do you even know this person? You text message this person 2 times. He said, "Good morning, beautiful." You said, "Good morning, sexy." And now you're out having sex with him? This is the world we live in. Everything is casual. Casual sex, casual shacking, casual, with long-term ramifications and consequences.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
what it
Well,
well,
is.
I do like a little bit of casuality in my sex, but I ain't gonna judge nobody. But I'm saying that like this is sad, and I can understand everybody saying that it's because Shorty lied. She had false intentions coming on the show, but so does Dr. Nicole. So did Dr. Nicole. Dr. Nicole to this date has not saved anybody's relationship. She comes on to this show, introduced y'all men and women to side chicks and side men who want to take them from, doesn't offer you really any help. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Dr. Nicole the same person tell Charlana when she found out and she wanted to leave Otis that it's bigger things going on in the world right now and she's trying to give up just because of that? Then skip forward a couple weeks for telling her that maybe this isn't right for you. Shut up, Dr. Nicole. Dr. Nicole, if she get to use people for ratings, use people to pay for her ponytails, that's all she not really helping nobody. So if anybody comes on, maybe uses them once in a while, oh well. Take it to the head.
Oh Lord, not the head. Ooh, oh Lord, not the head.
well,
Wow.
I'll be interested to see
Who is that?
if
Who is that over there by the airport? Is that you or Jeremy? Because I've
that's
been
me.
hearing planes for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, Aubrey, I'm out on the patio. Yeah,
Okay, all right, all
yeah. I'm
right.
not. I'm not.
That's
I'm
okay.
not. I'm not in my normal location. I'm not too far from Newark Airport. I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, those are those planes going over.
I've flown in there. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
so
go, knock your,
you
go
down
ahead.
there. You down there at the Mosey Wozy Hotel.
The Mosey
Probably,
Wozy.
probably tried to catch up with Tanisha and try to talk her into flying in.
I wish. I wish.
I know you do. I know you do.
Oh my goodness. But I'm gonna tell you,
Anyway.
I would be curious to know moving forward,
Hmm.
the guy that comes after Kenny, because I don't want this to be a pattern for Shorty. I'm not sure who the guy was before Kenny. I know when she sat next to Tavi, he said we were cool and everything, but we kind of left it where it was after the show. We didn't really communicate or anything after the show. So he went his own way. Okay. And maybe she was just using that situation to pull further away from Kenny because she kept seeing Tavi on the show. Okay. So I'll be curious to know because, some people just attract that kind of riffraff. Some women just attract that kind of riffraff, So I want to see that moving forward. I'll be very interested to know who this next guy is going to be and if he got these kind of hobosexual tendencies. Okay. Because some women, Aubrey and Jeremy, they really do love taking on build a man projects.
Build a
I'm
man
going to
projects.
I'm going to make him what I want for him to be. No, he don't have nothing right now, but I'm going to make him what I want. It's the same kind of concept for women when they start pen paling convicts. Okay,
Ooh.
they start
Ooh.
pen paling with convicts
Ooh.
because they know where he's at every night. See, if they got a man out, So if if they got a man out here free like Alfonso,
Go ahead, continue
yeah,
on.
if they got a man out here free like Alfonso, you don't know where he's at every night. Okay, but a convict, you know where he's at. So a lot of women start pen paling with these. That's another phenomenon for another show. But plenty of women do that. Okay, so
Mm.
I'll be curious to know about Shorty's choices in the future. But for this purposes, she had to do whatever was necessary to get away from Kenny. She was desperate to do whatever was necessary because she was not getting help from authority, the police department, the authorities. She was not getting help from family and friends. She was on her own with this dude. She was trapped. And the desperation was, I'll come on the show to figure out a way to get production to help me get rid of him. That's desperation. That's fear.
I just want to say, you're right around New Jersey, so Chloe is a New Jersey girl. So hey, in the house, Ravine. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, dear. She's Queens, New York, in the house. But I want to get to something that. Let me address this. Monique, I love you dearly. She's one of my favorite moderators, right? But Monique says, I will never respect Shorty for admittedly coming on a show trying to pawn off her abuser, and that's in quotation marks, on other women, right? I think, Monique, you may not have ever been in a verbally, emotionally, financially abusive relationship. You may not have ever shacked up with a fella. I know I haven't, so, okay. But I don't think that Shorty looked at it like she was putting her abuser off on other women, because the one thing that she was already very aware of is that, just like Alex tries to say that Shay likes a certain lifestyle and that she's a kept woman, well, basically, Kenneth was a kept man. He's living in a beautiful high-rise apartment. So wherever Shorty started from, if she started from the bottom and made it up to the top, she's the one in the high-rise now, and it's hers. It's her condo. She owns it. She's not renting anymore, okay? And so I don't think that she thought about necessarily the aspects of the show that her abuser would be on other women, because as we saw, he was never interested in any of those women that he dated. Okay? He was never interested in any of them. And why? Because he liked the lap of luxury where he was. He liked the comfort level of what was familiar to him. Something is very broken inside of Kenneth. We can talk about Shorty all day, but until people begin to address what's wrong with Shorty, would you marry a Shorty? Would you shack up with a Shorty? I mean, I'm sorry, with a Kenneth? Would you shack up with a Kenneth? Would you bring him into your home with his bags, with his clothes in garbage bags? He tells you that he's a general contractor. And what? He's not a general contractor. He's what they call, I've worked in the trades. He's a general laborer, is what he is. Unskilled, without training, and without education. He just learned what the word emasculate means, okay? So now, I don't think she was trying to pawn off her abuser, but I will say this. She did, as I have done in the past, whatever it required to get rid of him. Okay. And if the show wants to be angry about her getting rid of him, they gave her a bad edit and all of that. But guess what? Everybody that comes on that show has their own personal reasons. And trust and believe that it's not all about put a ring on it. We know last season Darian did not come on there to put a ring on nothing. Nothing. Okay. I see Kenneth. Kenneth ain't trying to put a ring on it. Okay. That's a bunch of BS. And women that sit around and want to play 12 years the girlfriend, 10 years the girlfriend, Chloe knows this. My girl Janice Hilton, right here on the YouTube streets, go over to her channel and check it out. If you don't want to be 10 years a girlfriend sitting around talking about, that's my fiance, or talking like Shay, that's my spouse, when you don't have damn piece of paper, no benefits, and if he croaks dead tomorrow, you're out on your ass, okay? So let's just look at that, okay? I just want people to stop and think and really see what's really going on. Hey, word up. To Bridget,
Yeah.
word up.
And
We're
Aubrey,
gonna we're gonna get
oh,
ready to close this out. But go ahead, and I
but
got a few
I just want to say
announcements.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Charlana,
Oh, thank you.
where I give Shorty credit, unlike Charlana, with all this abuse and all this 3.5 years with Kenny or whatever, she
Hmm.
did not allow herself to get trapped with a pregnancy.
She sure didn't. She
Could
was
you
smarter than
imagine?
that. She was
Could you
smarter than that.
imagine?
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, could you imagine
Oof.
if Kenny had gotten Shorty pregnant and she was stuck like that with him? Because,
Oof.
Shorty,
Lord,
Shorty's 7 years old. She's not about to get pregnant. What are you talking about?
But it happens. It happens. There are women that are a lot older than that to get pregnant, but no, that's something she wasn't going to do. That's something she wasn't going to do. She's already got a kid and he's in college, and I'm sure all her extra dollars is going to U State wherever he's at. Okay, because these colleges are not cheap. I know my son went to Syracuse. We're talking about $60,000 a year back then. Okay, all right. So don't play about these babies. Men play about babies because oftentimes they don't end up taking care of them. Those type of men, like, not saying all men, but men like Kenneth, because that's another thing that came out in the interview with and go over and check out my sister Crystal Jordan. Her interview with Shorty tells it all. If you don't understand it and you haven't watched that interview, don't say I don't understand. Go over there and watch that interview, and maybe it'll give you some clarity and some precision on what you're thinking. If you've never been abused, you don't have any friends, you've never helped anybody get out and escape from abuse, it's very hard to understand it, because the damage that is done to a woman or a man or a person going through abuse is so much of it is under what you don't see. It's manipulation. It's a mind. It's a mindset, and it is literally trapped in your mind with this person. So, guys, you have any closing thoughts on the reunion? Jeremy?
Jeremy, you want to go first on this one? Is he still
Um,
there? Okay.
y'all hear me?
Yeah. There
Okay.
Yes.
you go.
All right. I was saying that my closing thoughts are Dr. Nicole, hang it up, sis. Hang it up,
Yeah.
delicious. Look like a man. Egypt, please don't ever come to any more reunions. For us, we don't want you. I don't even let you host the Bad Girls Club reunion. Um, and everybody else that was on the show, like, yeah, they're really pretty much idiots, and that's really all I have to say about that. But like, y'all, I also have a live coming after this for
All
Love
right.
Marriage
You want to?
for
Oh,
Love and
okay.
Marriage Huntsville.
Oh, okay. You let
Um,
me. Okay.
at Love and Marriage Huntsville is going to be about 10 to 15 minutes after this live ends. And I'm going to definitely try my best to like limit the who comment, because obviously I got targeted the last time.
Wait a
So
minute. Back up, Jeremy. You're gonna limit the what? I'm not
try to
understanding.
limit who could comment. Like, I guess like the live chat, the subscribers
Oh,
only
oh,
or
oh. So
something like that.
you're gonna make it a subscribers only. Okay, yeah,
I'm gonna
I got
try.
you.
But yeah, that's all I have. That live is gonna be lit, and I'm gonna try to take all the frustrations I have towards all of these ridiculous, stupid men. And I'm gonna try to put all of that anger towards Mars Scott. So check me.
Oh, I'll put that in the chat too. That's over at Jeremy Speaks. He got all the cursey words for you guys. Okay, all the cursey words. All right. So, Alex, what is your summation? Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody that's coming into the room, leaving the room, click those likes. Uh, Tell your friends to subscribe. Please share the video, and also encourage them to leave comments on the replay. We try to respond to every comment. I know actually Aubrey and myself will try to respond to every comment. So please leave those in the chat. But I'll say this regarding the relationships and the women, and excuse the planes again for going over my head here on this patio, but it's a beautiful night, so I'm on this patio. But I want the women to take a lot from this season of Put a Ring on It, okay? Because it started out with these three couples, and we felt like they wanted to get married and secure their relationships or whatever. And some real ugly stuff came out of these people. You know, very, very ugly things came out this season. And I want women particularly to be very cognizant of your choices. Okay. If listen, if you just want to go out and date and have a partner that you lay with every so often, whatever, I can respect that. Okay. But don't try to pretend as though you're in a relationship if you just want peeing and eggs or whatever it is. It's not a relationship. It's peeing and eggs. That's what it is. Okay. So you got to vet these men. And that only comes over time. You know, you got to vet a guy 8 months, a year or more. You really got to understand how this person thinks. How does he treat his mama? How does he treat his sister? Do he take care of his children? If he has any children, what does he do for a living? How long has he done it? Does he have a good relationship with his employer? All these things take time. Okay. And I always say, and we found this out in Kitty's case and Shorty's case, good sex or great sex will confuse things. You will think you in love based off great sex. So if you want to give it up and go to bed, understand that that's the physical act. But if you want to get mental, you got to sit back and watch these people, watch these men for a long period of time before you decide he's going to come in my house or I'm going to go in his house, or more importantly, I'm going to bring this person around my children. Because I'm a stepdad, and I take that very seriously. Okay, my stepson is 30 years old. He's in Korea, married with 3 children. Okay, and he texts me all the time, hey, Pop, love you, because of the impression I had on his life, how I treated him when I came into his mother's life. Okay, you have to take the time necessary. Otherwise, just date around, but don't pretend you're in a relationship. It's not a relationship. That's what I gotta say, Aubrey. It's frustrating, and everybody excuse me. That's my passion. I'm very passionate when I'm speaking about things like this because people don't take it serious enough. We just jump in and out of bed and then try to make it into a relationship. No, sex is sex. Relationship is a relationship. They're two different things. That's it.
Awesome. Awesome. And thank you, Roro, for the congratulations. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're about to cross over as we're sitting here. I don't know. I haven't even checked my phone to look and see, but we're any minute. We're minutes away from where is this at? Hit it from myself. So as we're crossing over into that big old 1K, oh my gosh. I mean, like we're breaths away, just breaths away. So tell a friend, share this video out, share your favorite actually Aubrey video out because we're about to step into it. And as soon as we do, and the checks, those small checks start coming in, I've got a great vision for this channel. I've got some people I want to introduce you guys to that you don't know about, but you need to know. Um, we've got some great guests coming up here in the next few weeks. Whether that happens tomorrow, tonight, the next day, but we're about to cross over into the 1K, which anybody that's a YouTuber, you know that's a very big deal. I want to thank all of you that have been here, like Roro, have been here since day one. High Vibes, Ravine, De Sosa, even though we got to argue back and forth for sure. Chloe Johnson. If you don't have her and you're on YouTube, you need to have her. Tuber Chat, who is a new YouTube friend of mine. All of you people here, Monique King. Oh, a special shout out, a very special shout out to Monique King, to LMV, who are my faithful and loyal moderators. I want to give a special thanks and shout out to someone who I discovered in the YouTube streets. Not that when I discovered him, he was already there and he was already doing great things, but I heard his voice and I said, wow, this young man speaks the truth. He's unadulterated. He's awesome. And his name is Jeremy Speaks. I want to thank him for being here. I want to thank him for collaborating on my channel so often and being a part of the He Says, She Says part of the channel. And I absolutely say the best for last. Alex W. Leith, you are such an awesome person. I rock with you. I rock with you. You get on my nerves. You drive me crazy. You press me and push me and do all kinds of crazy things to me. But and I know you want to do more, but that's okay. But 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 even though I don't have a big old booty, uh, but I rock with you. I rock with you. You are my friend for real, and
Yes.
I got your back in these YouTube streets. So wherever you at, whatever you're doing, I just want y'all to know I got his back. So, and we have each
Yes.
other's back. All right,
Yes. Absolutely. Yep.
over here on this channel, we have each other's back. So we don't need a group, a gang, or a crew, but we are united. And on
Who?
that note, guys, on that on that note, no, say no more. On that note, guys, we're out of here. Bye, y'all.